Look around, on the train, in a cafe, even in a park. You'll see a sea of faces lit by a familiar glow, heads bowed to the small, powerful universe in their palms. But in that sea, you might spot an anomaly. One person looking up, out the window, at a book, or lost in thought. They don't have a smartphone. This choice seems almost radical today, but it's more than quitting a gadget. It's a profound psychological stance. It's a live, daily experiment in cognitive sovereignty, the fight to own your own mind, and a rejection of the brutal economics of your attention. In this video, we're not judging technology, we're decoding the mind. We'll break down the 7 key psychological pillars behind this choice, revealing it not as a step backward, but as a sophisticated form of modern-day mental architecture. Let's begin. Our first pillar is foundational. In a world engineered to fragment your focus, the person without a smartphone is an architect of undivided attention. While the modern mind is conditioned for continuous partial attention, that frantic, shallow state of monitoring multiple streams of information without truly engaging with any, they have made a conscious choice to reclaim the monotask mind. Psychologically, continuous partial attention is a tax on your brain. It burns through cognitive fuel, increases stress hormones, and leaves you feeling busy but unproductive. It's the enemy of deep thought, true learning, and flow states. By removing the primary source of fragmentation, these individuals aren't creating a void. They are creating the conditions for cognitive depth. Their attention becomes a laser, not a diffused light. Reading a book, they follow an argument to its end, without the itch to check a notification. In a conversation, they listen without the subconscious pull of a device in their pocket. This sustained focus allows for stronger memory consolidation. Ideas and experiences are woven more deeply into the fabric of understanding. Their choice is an investment. They trade the illusion of multitasking efficiency for the profound, singular power of a mind that can truly concentrate. In an economy that buys and sells your fractured focus, they are practicing the radical discipline of owning it wholly. The second pillar reveals a strategic defense against neurological hijacking. For the smartphone user, the device isn't just a tool. It's a dopamine dispensing slot machine. Every notification, like a message, a news alert, is a pull of the lever on a variable reward schedule. You never know when you'll win, which is the most addictive schedule of all. This conditions the brain to crave the next hit, keeping you in a state of perpetual, low-grade anticipation. Psychologically, this hijacks the brain's natural reward pathway. Dopamine, the seeking chemical, gets rerouted from rewarding real-world achievement to fueling compulsive checking. Your emotional state becomes tethered to the unpredictable flow of external digital validation. The person who opts out is a master of stimulus control. They understand this neurological trap and choose to step off the treadmill. This isn't about living a life of less stimulation, it's about deliberate calibration. They reclaim the ability to experience boredom, satisfaction, and curiosity as internal states, not reactions to pings. Their goal is emotional homeostasis, a stable, self-regulated inner climate. By removing the constant, manipulative triggers, they regain sovereignty over their own neurochemistry. The highs might be less frequent, but the baseline is one of chosen peace, not engineered anxiety. In a world designed to addict, their abstinence is the ultimate act of self-possession. The third pillar is about space, the mental and temporal space required for a self to exist. The smartphone has dissolved the traditional boundaries between work and home, public and private, obligation and leisure. It creates an expectation of being always on, perpetually available to the demands of others. The person without a smartphone acts as a protector of psychological boundaries. They reject this erosion of sovereignty. Their time, attention, and mental quiet are not default public resources. They are non-negotiable private domains. Choosing a dumb phone or no phone isn't a technological downgrade. It's the construction of a moat around their cognitive castle. Psychologically, this defends against ambient stress or telepressure, the low-grade, chronic anxiety born of perpetual connectivity. It's the subconscious tension of knowing an email, message, or social demand can invade your peace at any moment. This state keeps the sympathetic nervous system, or fight or flight, subtly engaged, preventing the deep rest required for recovery. By creating hard, physical barriers to intrusion, you simply cannot be reached. In certain ways, they enable true parasympathetic recovery. Their nervous system gets genuine downtime, not just a switched-off screen with the lingering knowledge it can be switched back on. In a culture that glorifies availability, their unavailability is a radical statement. My peace is not negotiable. They understand that a healthy psyche, like a healthy ecosystem, requires protected, undisturbed zones. The fourth pillar shifts from defense to a profound embrace of reality itself. In an age where experiences are often mediated through a lens framed, filtered, and staged for an audience, the person without a smartphone chooses unmediated presence. They are curators of the real-world moment. This isn't about being anti-photograph, it's about priority. They prioritize direct sensory engagement, the feel of the breeze, the unobserved expression on a friend's face, the full taste of a Milova, the act of documenting it. Psychologically, this choice protects against the photo-taking impairment effect, where the act of recording an experience actually impairs your brain's ability to encode the memory itself. Your mind offloads the job of remembering to the device, making your own recall weaker. By being fully immersed, they strengthen episodic memory, the rich, first-person, sensory tapestry of an event. The memory is stored in the body and mind, not in the cloud. This deep presence is also a cornerstone of well-being and authentic connection. A conversation where both parties are making eye contact, not glancing at screens, builds deeper rapport and understanding. A walk in nature where your attention is on the rustling leaves, not a podcast, reduces stress and increases awe. Their choice says, the value of an experience is in the living of it, not the proving of it. They trade the secondary reward of sharing for the primary reward of fully feeling. In doing so, they build a richer, more detailed, internal library of a life actually lived. The fifth pillar redefines what it means to be connected. Smartphones facilitate hyperconnection, an endless stream of low-friction, low-investment interactions, quick texts, reactive comments, passive likes. This can create a broad but shallow social network, where contact is constant but meaning is thin. The person without a smartphone becomes a strategist of intentional connection. By introducing deliberate friction, you can't text me impulsively. You must call, email, or meet. They filter communication. This friction isn't a barrier to connection. It's a filter for significance. Psychology shows that ease often devalues. The effort required to make a plan, write a letter, or have a scheduled call subconsciously raises the value of that interaction for both parties. It shifts communication from being reflexive, a quick reaction, to being reflective, a considered choice. They trade the volume of hyperconnection for the depth of genuine connection. A single, uninterrupted hour-long conversation carries more relational weight than 100 fragmented text exchanges. Their relationships are built on pillars of focused attention and shared, undivided time, not on the sandy soil of perpetual, partial contact. In a world of infinite reach, they choose profound depth. The sixth pillar champions a state our culture has come to fear: boredom. For the smartphone less individual, moments of waiting in line, on transit, between tasks aren't voids to be filled with scrolling. They are fertile ground for the mind. They are practitioners of cognitive restoration. Neuroscientifically, this allows the default mode network DMN to activate. The DMN is your brain's idle starter, crucial network that lights up when you're not focused on the external world. It's where your mind connects disparate ideas, revisits memories, simulates future scenarios, and engages in the autobiographical thinking that solidifies your sense of self. Constant screen use, by providing endless external stimulation, stifles this process. It's like keeping a car's engine perpetually revving, never letting it idle and cool down. This stifles creativity, complex problem-solving, and self-reflection. Their offline time is not empty. It is essential mental incubation. By embracing the restless, wandering state of daydreaming, they create the psychological space where insights emerge, problems untangle themselves, and the narrative of their own life is woven together. In avoiding boredom, we often avoid our most profound thoughts. They choose to court them. Our seventh or final pillar addresses the very architecture of modern identity. Smartphones are the primary portals to a world of performed existence, a curated highlight reel of others' lives and a stage for our own. This triggers relentless social comparison, where we measure our raw, behind-the-scenes reality against everyone else's polished final cut, a recipe for anxiety and inadequacy. The individual without a smartphone becomes a rejecter of this performance self. By opting out of the ecosystem where identity is built through likes, shares, and strategic curation, they make a radical choice to nurture an internally validated identity. Their sense of self isn't fragmented across platforms or contingent on public reaction. It is integrated, built through lived experience and private reflection, not public display. This is a powerful defense against identity fragmentation, the psychological splintering that occurs when we manage multiple partial personas for different online audiences. Their choice asserts that who you are is not what you post. It reclaims the self from the marketplace of attention. In a world that asks you to constantly package and promote your life, they choose the quiet, unobserved work of simply living it, and in doing so, protect the coherence of their own soul. So, let's connect the architecture. These 7 pillars form a unified philosophy, a reclaiming of attention from fragmentation, of emotion from manipulation, of boundaries from erosion, of presence from documentation, of connection from hyperconnection, of thought from interruption, and of the self from performance. This is not a Luddite rejection of progress. It is a human-first prioritization. In an economy that trades in your focus and emotional states, choosing to step off the platform is a radical, deliberate act of self-preservation. It's a quiet resistance to having your inner life colonized. If you've ever felt the pull toward less toward deeper focus, truer calm, more real connection, then this isn't a strange impulse. It's your psychology signaling a need that the digital world is designed to ignore. Your intuition is valid. If this vision of a more sovereign, conscious life resonates with you, then you understand what we explore here. Hit subscribe. This channel is dedicated to understanding the psychology behind intentional living in a distracted world. Here, we don't just talk about habits. We decode the architecture of a mindful mind. Thanks for watching.